What's up, guys? In this video, we're going over some value picks for the Reignmaker contest and this upcoming UFC card 285 Jones versus Gane. Let's go. All right, so taking a look at the spreadsheet I have here, and I will upload this in the description. This is based off of the Stochastic Premium content. Highly recommend that. Works for Reignmakers and DFS. First things first, a little bit of explaining here. I do have it broken down by tiers. First tier, and this is mainly based off of their win percentage because their win percentage is a win or break, whether they win or not. If your fighter loses, he will lose a substantial amount of more of points than if he would have won. There are some exceptions sometimes when it's a war of a fight and it goes all 3 rounds. The difference between the points aren't too different, but for most cases, winning or losing is a make or break whether your fighter performs well. So number one priority is win percentage. We want our fighters to win. Number one. So I do have tiers based off of that. We have Bo Nickel in his tier all by himself. He's at a 92% win percentage, and rightfully so. They it seems like they're feeding him. They're feeding Jamie to the wolves here. Second tier, we have Shevchenko, Ian Gary, Rachmanov, and Basharat. They're pretty much mid to low 80s there. That's just an explanation here. These red lines, I draw the line, literally draw the line for a decent favorite at 66 to 67% win percentage. That's around a 2-to-1 favor. Anything above that, I'm comfortable picking them as my favorite and them winning. Anything below that, it's more of like a coin flip. I'm less confident in them winning. So red is here beneath Gamrot. It's pretty much a coin flip. And then beneath the Turner, who's Gamrot's opponent, you're basically going dumpster diving. I'm not very confident in these fighters down here. You can go after them if there's supreme value there, but I tend to stay away from dumpster diving. I do not like doing that. So let's go over some value picks here. I'm gonna go over value picks for elite contest. The top tier Bo Nickel, he's priced at $185. This is Wednesday night. What time is it? 9:20. So at $185, you are paying a pretty price to get Bo Nickel. So his value isn't that great here. He's at a 0.491. It's more on the crappier side. This value is based off of their price, obviously, their projection, and their win percentage. The projections, I adjusted it. It's from Stochastic, but I've also adjusted it just to make sense. This is more of uh, what could we call this? A range, um, because they aren't going to score these points exactly because where they win or lose is the whether they're going to score well or not. This is more of a rating as opposed to the actual projection. So it's more of a spectrum. It's scored. So that's what the value is based off. Bone nickel, not great value. And these orange shaded means they are grappling favored. They have a grappling advantage. And that's important because grapplers tend to rack up more points. They're not as reliant on the knockout or the finish because they can score points in other ways. That's why it's important. So Bo Nickel, not great value at 185. The second tier where we have Shevchenko, Gary Rachmanov, and Basharat. The good values here is Shevchenko. She is the main event, so it's a safer pick because she does have 5 rounds to work, and those tend to accumulate more points. So she's priced at $98. That's a good value there. If you want to go cheaper, you can go Bashara at 80% win percentage and just a 40% finish. So, and he does have the grappling advantage, so it is pretty good. Not a great value based off of his numbers, but still you can't go wrong with him either at $88. So that's the value there is Shevchenko at $98. A tier below that, right before we're gonna go to our coin flips. Still at the tier where we have good underdogs, where we're confident these guys could win. And these guys, I tend to stick to these guys with my elite as my captain because you do want your captain to win. That's the one thing. And if you're playing an elite contest, you have to have an elite captain, and you don't want your captain to lose. That's tough if your captain loses. So I'll stick to where my value up here for my captain, and up here in this smaller range here, we have a Ricci at $55 is a good value, and Gamera at $47 is good value. Both grappling advantages. We all know Gamera, and that dude loves to grapple. 66% win percentage with Gamera and 44% inside the distance. The only thing that makes me hesitant here is my gut feeling. I did mention that I do want to start following my gut a little more. Not too much, but I do want to start following. And Jalen Turner, he's a mother effer. I was watching tape on him, and I've recognized his fights from the past. He has caught in my eye. So that's a tough matchup. It's a short notice fight. So that's still tough. I'm a little hesitant to go with Gamera as my confident favorite, even though the numbers say he's a confident favorite. I pull that back a little bit. The tier below that, now we're going to the coin flips here, the basically 50-50. The good values we have here, we could basically group them all together. These are just favorites, and then it's underdogs. So the with favorites that are 50-50, we have Amanda Ribas at $24. Pretty much good value above the rest of them. And then Andre Barut and Cody Gambrat at $34. That's our value picks there. It looks like Ribas stands out the most. For our underdogs, we have, it looks like Vivian Arujo with that fight, the Ribas and Arujo fight seems to be a super close fight. The inside the distance, it's supposed to go the distance, which gives them good floors. So even if they lose, they'll have 3 rounds under their belt, but their ceiling is capped because if it goes 3 rounds, the winner's not going to score as high, but the loser's not going to score as low. If that makes sense, the floor is high, but the ceiling is low. So this is a pretty safe pick here with either one. So that's where the value is coming from in the middle of the range of these percentages. And then if you want to go dumpster diving, if you want to take a shot, and this I could see this as making sense here a little bit, I guess. I mean, again, I'm against dumpster diving, but if you absolutely want to, like a freaking dirty bastard you are, we go with Jessica Pena. A great value, actually the best value in the whole spreadsheet. She's only priced at $8.40. I say this is okay, not because of her numbers. Her numbers are poo poo. 28% win percentage and 11% inside the distance. But the inside the distance in that fight is the worst in the whole card. It's supposed to go the distance. If any of them do, it's going to be this one, Pene and Ricci. And what that means is even if Penne loses, she has 3 rounds under her belt. And unless she gets absolutely mauled by Ricci all 3 rounds, just grappled and controlled and doesn't score much, that's a possibility too. But it can also be, even if she loses, she scores okay, not like less than 10 points. She could lose and score like 30 points, which isn't great either, but it's not a donut. You know what I mean? And you did only pay $8.40 for her as an elite. I don't recommend putting her as a captain if you are going to pay for elite. I recommend her to put her as your second elite if you want to save money, and then pay up on your rares and your first elite, your captain, pay up for that captain too. But if you want to go that route, I'm not mad at that. I could see that, and that second elite, it's more of a money saver. You're again, because remember this, you're not being capped here. You have to cap yourself when you're entering these contests. And if you want to stay below a budget, which I recommend sticking below a budget. Just don't just throw a bunch of cash at this and hope for the best. Look for value here, and that's why we're doing this. We're looking for value here. So if you want to go for Prania, I recommend her as your second elite card. Your first elite card, pay up a little bit more. Maybe get a Basharat. Maybe get a. You can't get a Ricci because she's fighting Pena. I mean, unless you want to stack it. I don't know. I don't know about that. Never really thought about that. I guess if you do want to stack it, you could probably play one of those 50-50 ones. Let's take a look at this bankroll booster, and top 50 gets wins $100. So it's basically a cash style lineup. I could see that stack there, just to save money, because you're not trying to shoot for first place. You're trying to shoot for 50th place. You're trying to get 50th place because 1 through 50 gets paid the same amount. So you can go Ricci to save that money at 55 and put her as your captain. Put Pene as your second elite, and then on your rares, go safe floor. You're gonna go. You're probably gonna target this Rebus fight. Go Rebus, maybe Basharat. Low volatility fights, high win percentages. That's for another thing though. I don't want to get too much into that because I've been grappling on for too long already. I'm gonna leave it at that. Again, value picks. If you want to go dumpsters diving, Jessica Pene up top. Ricci, Basharat's pretty decent. Gamrot's a good value, but I am hesitant here because I just explained because of the Jalen Turner. The mid tiers are the women fights, Ribas, Arujo, Gamrot's up there somewhat. Um, but those are the fighters that I see value in. Take it or leave it. This is for Reignmakers. We're just developing strategy as we're going, but I'm on the side of getting more bang for my buck and looking for value. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Next video is gonna be released on Saturday. I do plan to change that $500 challenge to the Reignmakers. I want to start doing more Reignmakers things. So keep an eye on look at that. Again, thanks for watching. Catch you.